EurekaFacts, a group that had experience in this area. And we talked to them, and actually we interviewed the other 4 other research firms, but decided to go with EurekaFacts given their understanding of these programs, because they had the experience in the past, but also an understanding of how data is used in a public policy context. My name is EurekaFacts. I'm the Executive Director of the Alliance for International Exchange. So the research for the summer work travel program was really significant. We had been facing a number of challenges. One, we had really good anecdotal information about the impact of international exchange programs among the summer work travel participants, but they were anecdotal. So stories about people going back home and starting businesses and getting involved in organizations and even running for office and being appointed. But they were anecdotal. So stories about people going back home and starting businesses and getting involved in organizations and even running for office and being appointed. But there was very little we could say across the programs and across the years. And so it's really important for us as an organization whose mission is to promote the growth and the impact of these programs that we be able to show the impact. And we interact with a lot of policymakers up on Capitol Hill, people at the US State Department and elsewhere, and they rely on us for this type of information, both anecdotal stories, but then also the empirical data to back up the things we say about these programs. And so it was really critical for us to have that. And I would also add that in addition to the need for us to have that kind of information normally, there were organizations out there putting information into the general public that was really inaccurate about these programs, basically using their anecdotal stories to make a much broader case against the program. And so we needed the data to show that they were wrong. And so we went to, and that second thing was really important for us and continues to be important. We used the Summer Work Travel Report in many different ways. We provided it to the State Department and actually did a briefing with EurekaFacts at the State Department. And they have referred to the Summer Work Travel Report internally during critical meetings a number of times during the Trump administration and even now recently during the Biden administration. And these were key moments when people were questioning the program or looking at a report issued by someone else and saying, is this report correct? And they were able to go, sometimes with our assistance, back to our report and say, no, here's the report. And it's data and it's solid, it's been researched, and here's this independent firm that's put together the research. And that's been really critical. And then in terms of policymakers up on Capitol Hill, we've engaged with them a number of times, and they've actually used the report, not just in their letters that they've sent to the administration and have put into their statements, but they also incorporated the Summer Work Travel Report that EurekaFacts provided for us into congressional resolutions, citing in the resolutions themselves, in those whereas clauses. I think we've all seen these before, right? Whereas this and that, whereas this and that. Well, these whereas clauses were whereas, EurekaFacts report shows blah, 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 blah. And that's a powerful example of how a report can have a policy impact, be incorporated by policymakers, and provide real clarity about the importance and impact of a program. So what I would say to other nonprofits who might be thinking about research projects like this, it's good to have a sense of what you want to do, what you want to accomplish, I guess is the best way to say it. What do you want to accomplish with a report that you're putting out? For us, it was really important that a report that we might commission from a group like EurekaFacts be something that was used in the real world. So oftentimes, I worked in the US Congress, I worked in the executive branch as well, and lots of reports are interesting, and then you kind of set them aside to be used at some later time. We didn't want that. We wanted a report that policymakers needed and would use immediately. So one is to try to figure out what's the immediate need for the audience that you're seeking to inform. So for us as policymakers, for other groups, it might be constituents, clients, or funders. So, what's the information that they need? And then our experience was to bring that information into a conversation with EurekaFacts and say, this is what we're looking for and what we think our, fill in the blank, our constituents, our donors, policymakers need, let's talk about how we gather that information. What are the surveys? Who do we survey? How do we process that? And so for us, that was really important to do. And EurekaFacts was terrific about helping us think about the way in which we would structure the research, the survey instruments, who we would survey, and then the process for analyzing that data. For us, one of the things that really worked, and this might help for other nonprofits, is we formed a working group of people who were external to us at the Alliance. Those people were members of the Alliance, but they were in some ways the experts in the area. And I would imagine that for nonprofits, they may have a range of people. Maybe the experts are in your organization, but no organization has all the information. So who are the stakeholders that are important for your program or for the report that you're trying to put together? And can you assemble a small group of them to help work with a group like EurekaFacts on designing the survey and then analyzing the data? EurekaFacts was really terrific across all 4 reports that we did with EurekaFacts in working with the working groups that we pulled together, responding to them, hearing them, and then putting together both the survey instruments and also the report that reflected both the needs of our members and the Alliance, but then also maintaining the integrity of the data and representing that really well. So I would say that that's probably critical, and EurekaFacts was really great at that, working with our working group to develop the survey, analyze the data, and put out a report.